have companies who release products that tend to compete with one another, you tend to wonder if these companies are going to steal the ideas of the other company or if they're just going to copy what the other company has done. This has been a thing for a long time, whether it's Apple and Microsoft or Microsoft and Sony. There's always these kind of things that happen where they wonder, or we have to wonder who was going to copy what, or are they copying something from another company. There's also a thing where one company may throw shade at the other company by making fun of something they do. We've seen this when the PS4 was releasing and they made some jokes about how to share games with one another since you couldn't originally for the Xbox. So for today's Tech Trend Tuesday, we're talking about Samsung and how they threw some shade at Apple when they released or announced rather, the iPhone 12 by Samsung saying that their phones come with everything from the bare basics, such as a charger in the box. But now, with the announcement of the S21 phones and I believe the release of the S21 phones, there's a couple of details that I didn't know about from the initial Samsung event that I am aware of now. And the first thing being that Samsung is doing what Apple did when they released the iPhone 12, which is they are not including a charger brick in the box for your Samsung S21. Whether you're going for the S21 or the S21 Ultra, you don't get a charger brick. And they are using the same, not excuse per se, but more so the same reasoning of, trying to do better for the environment, trying to have less of a negative impact on the environment by not including a charger in the box. And doing that will also cause the box to be slimmer and smaller, therefore requiring less material to be used for the box. Um, Now, it's funny how Samsung just a few months ago, made a joke about this and laughed at Apple for not including a charger in the box and only including the cable. Now Samsung is doing it. So, what is the real reasoning to do this after you made fun of Apple for doing it? Now we're just gonna make fun of you for doing it because you were the ones who threw all that shade at them, and now you're doing the same thing. If you truly are trying to do this to help the environment, then I can understand that. I can get behind that, of course. But you're also gotta, you gotta see who your target audience is because you're not dropping the cost of the phone. The phone is still over $1,000, and now you're selling that charger separately for a low price. That could be perceived as you trying to get more money from your customers. Not everyone is going to believe your reasoning for doing, better for the environment. But of course, it doesn't stop there because another thing that Samsung did for this phone generation, this phone lineup that they didn't do for the previous phones, something they've been known to not be a victim of, is that they removed the option to expand your storage. There's no SD slot or micro SD slot to increase the storage of your Samsung phone. If you get the 128 gigabyte, you're stuck with 128 gigabytes. If you get the 256 gigabyte, which is a lot of space, you're stuck with the 256 gigabytes. If you have the money, like a baller, to get the 516 gigabyte, I believe that's the storage size, you're completely fine. I don't really think you need over 500 gigs for a smartphone. You don't. But the option to increase your storage with an SD card is a reason why people would go to Samsung because they can pay for the lower storage size to save money and then get the SD card to add storage to the phone. But now you're removing the SD card slot for users. They can't increase the storage. They don't get a charger in the box. So what is it really happening here? What is it coming down to? Why are certain cutbacks being made for these devices? I understand some cutbacks got to be made, especially in the time of a pandemic where you don't really have the full resources available to produce these products. But you got to pick and choose what cutbacks are necessary, and I don't think you're making the right ones. I don't know what would be the right ones to make. It's just some personal thoughts. And finally, something that came up about these phones is that the SIM card slot has also been relocated to the bottom of the phone. And the problem that people are having with that is to remove the SIM card slot, just like any other phone that has one, you have to use like a little pin or an earring to get the slot out. And some users may confuse the little hole for the SIM slot, and they may confuse that for the microphone little punch out. So there may be someone who will try to put a pin or an earring into the microphone and damage it instead of putting it into the right spot to take the SIM card out. So that is something that people have to be aware of if they do get the phone. If you are going to get the phone, just keep that in mind. If you are going to take out the SIM card slot, which you really shouldn't need to, if you are getting a phone from your carrier, you should have one already in there. So you don't really need to do that. But if you do need to do that, just be careful, okay? That's pretty much it for this video of Tech Trend Tuesday. Just something that came up with these Samsung phones. And of course, if anything else comes up along the way, I will definitely let you guys know. But thank you for watching, and I hope you guys had a good MLK day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I'm Anthony on Tech. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.